Pittsburgh, are you ready for your headliner tonight? You can do better than that. Are you ready for your headliner tonight? He's a regular on the TV morning show. He's the host of the Greenfield's Finest podcast, and more importantly, one of my best friends. Put your hands together for Mike Zydel! What's going on, everybody?
Hey guys, give it up for all the comics you heard tonight. For Matt Light, for Samantha Bentley, for Anthony Choi. Give it up for my buddy Troy who helped put this together because he's the one with the connection to the halfway house. I don't know if you knew that proceeds from tonight from our side, they're going to go to the Tom Rutter house, and that house means a lot to me. That's where I got sober at. I'm coming up on 7 years clean in 4 days. I think the biggest benefit about being sober is once you stop smoking crack, people don't really expect much out of you after that. My mom's here tonight, and like the first year I got sober, like I think my biggest accomplishment was getting a Costco membership. Not the regular one, like the 2% back, and it, like my mom went into tears, like I never thought I'd see my son. And I'm like, how big of a piece of shit was I for the past 34 years for this to be a highlight of your life, Mom? Super happy my mom's here. I love my mom. I wish my dad was here. He couldn't be here. He abandoned us 40 years ago. He went on a top secret CIA mission to go get cigarettes, Operation Go Get Cigarettes, and never returned. I couldn't be happier for my mom, though. She got a new boyfriend, and this guy, he's got the trifecta. He's got a job, he's got a car, and he's got teeth. That's right. And I can tell by the look on my mom's face, he's hitting it right. Thank God someone is. She needed it after Dad went to go get cigarettes. It's been a long way for 40 years. It's like weird being sober and like dealing with like normal life and some of the things that go on in normal life. My mom, I'm proud of her. She lost a ton of weight. She went on a diet, lost a bunch of weight. And I remember I went over her house on Mother's Day, and like I caught her midst of fucking inhaling bagels with cream cheese like this. And she's just hoovering this shit, and there's cream cheese in her hair, onion and chive in her ear. And I'm like, Mom, what's going on? I thought you were like on this diet. And she was like, Mike, don't worry about me. It's my cheat day. And I'm like, man, like that's weird for someone who used to like drink, do heroin, and smoke crack. Because I'm like, hey man, where's my fucking cheat day? They didn't think about that when they wrote the 12 steps. I would love like one day a year I get to go hang out behind a dumpster and just drink vodka out of a plastic bottle and then smoke crack, and my friends walk by and they're like, dude, what's going on? I'm like, bro, don't even sweat it. It's my cheat day. My girlfriend's here somewhere. She's fucking hiding back there. But she's a huge support. I wouldn't be here without her. But it wasn't always like that with girls I dated. My girlfriend prior to that, I should have seen some red flags. It was like the old saying, like I was a Gemini, she was a whore. She was like having sex with dudes in the apartment building we lived at, so we had like a little bit of some trust issues, you know what I mean? She used to play this game when I would like fall asleep. She would steal money out of my wallet, you know what I mean? I'm like, hey, what happened to that? She'd be like, I don't know, dude. I'm like, maybe should have set off some red flags, you know, but I didn't have nowhere else to live, so that's where I had to stay. My girlfriend now, like as soon as we met, the first thing she started asking me about was she was like, dude, she was like, what happened to your social media for like 15 years? And I'm like, what do you mean? She was like, dude, there's not one picture of you on Facebook for like 15 years except this weird picture of you in a pair of underwear holding a gun. I'm like, well, I said, that was during a time when I was throwing some bait in the water trying to see what I could reel in. And I ended up that's when I met methadone girl that stole my money. Didn't work out like I planned, but I was like, I don't understand what you mean. She said, like, you don't take pictures? You never took pictures? I said, I don't know if you knew this, Addie, but us crackheads aren't very photogenic. Hey, what do you think? Like, drug addicts get together, like, for groups of selfies or shit like that? Like, we'd be riding a bus to the methadone clinic, you know what I mean? Hashtag living my best life. And the girls would be hashtag methadone MILFs. Yeah, if you didn't know this, there's no filter on the camera that fixes smoking crack. You know what I mean? I know that Manti Te'o thing came out. You know, he got catfished and whatever. Oh my God, you did that and 17 million other fucking people. No, it was a good thing. But my story's better. So I don't know what you call it when you're like double catfishing. Like, I was lying to this bitch and she was lying to me, and we were just like in a web of lies. And my lies were like, I had a job. I'm 5'8". And I had a car. Select D, none of the above is true. But it was weird. She was like sending me these pictures, and she sent me a picture of her boobs, and I'm like, oh, okay, game on. Those are some sweet titties. So I called her back like, sweet tits? She said, thanks. Why don't you send a picture? I'm like, all right. So, like, guys, it's weird. Like, when we send a picture of our dicks, we try to prep it up a little bit. You know what I mean? We're trying to. He ain't coming out of the bullpen cold. He's getting warmed up. You know what I mean? Move him around. Get some heat on this guy. Let's see what we can do. So I fired this hammer pick away at her. I sent it to her. Waiting to get a response like, cool dick, bro. I didn't get shit. That's the worst thing you can do to a guy when he sends a dick picture, is say nothing. Say something. I'm like, man, maybe she didn't have enough data. And like, 'cause that was... So I was like fucking looking good in that picture, you know what I mean? So we like decided we're gonna meet up, and I'm living in a recovery house at the time with a bunch of losers, and we all had fake Plenty of Fish profiles, and we were just either hooking up with anyone that would go out with us. So I'm like, dudes are like pumped for me, like, this chick's actually hot, like, you know what I mean? So I'm like borrowing like shoes to give me a lift, and I'm like, yeah. I borrowed like $18 off my boy, had it all wrapped up in a wad. I was like, dude, I'm gonna get laid tonight. So I show up at the movie theater, I take the bus there, and I beat her there so she don't ask, like, where's your car, you know what I mean? So I go in there, and I'm like, all right. And, like, there's no one in the theater. There's no one anywhere except this one chick who got, like, all these fucking snacks. And she's big as fuck, you know what I mean? A lot bigger than me. And she comes up to me and she goes, "Are you Mike?" And I'm like, "Yeah." "Do we know each other?" And she was like, "Yeah, I'm Amy." And I'm like, "What the fuck?" And she said, "You're not 5'8". I said, "And bitch, those ain't your tits you sent me either. You sent me stunt tits, you know what I mean? I didn't send you a stunt dick, you know what I mean?" Her tits were like pointing sideways and overlapping, and I'm like, Jesus Christ, you know what I mean? I mean, at least she gave me a hand job during No Country for Old Men, so I guess she was useful for something. I got to get honest with my mom about this story. I don't think she's ever heard this one, but a buddy of mine, we were like 17 years old, and we were like young. It was my buddy Dina, and we were like, "Let's go get a prostitute." And I'm like, "Okay." I knew nothing about prostitutes or anything except for what I seen on Pretty Woman, you know. So I'm like, "Let's go." Where do we find this Julia Roberts at? You know what I mean? He's like, the older dude said, "Go to the Hill District." So sure, a couple of white kids will drive up to the Hill District and we'll find us a prostitute. What could go wrong? We're driving up there and I'm looking for Julia Roberts. I fucking find Julia Roberts from Pretty Woman. I find Queen Latifah from Set It Off, you know? This bitch was mean. We pulled up there. We rolled down the window. I'm kind of nervous. And she was like, "What up?" We're like, "Not just trying to, do something." She's like, "Let me guess. You want me to suck them little white dicks?" I'm like, "Excuse me, miss, can I speak to your manager?" Like, it's just fucking terrible customer service. But she ended up getting in the car, and "Mom, that's why your car smelled like beef jerky for 3 weeks." I didn't spill a plate of nachos. Yeah. A lot of people, they ask me, I get this a lot. I'll show up at places and people will be like, "Do you want a beer?" And I always, I could easily just say, "I'm good." Like, no, I mean, I'm good. But I always feel a need to tell them, like, my life story. And it's like people, like, every time people are like, "Dude, can I get you a beer?" I'm like, "Dude, I used to be a heroin addict." And I was smoking crack, and then I was an alcoholic too. My dad abandoned me when I was a kid. Me and my mom were poor. It was just the two of us. My nickname was Stinky, and I didn't fucking graduate high school, you know what I mean? I lived in a homeless shelter, went to jail. And the dude's like, "So you're not drinking, Kyle? So you're cool. Nice to meet you, bro. Good luck with everything." This is a funny story back to when I was back in my partying days. It's how I know that women can be liars. I was at a party, surprisingly, and there was cocaine there. And I just got my paycheck, so I said, "Let me purchase some of that cocaine." And this girl says to me, she was like, "What are you doing after this?" I said, "I live right across the street. You want to hang out?" And she was like, "Sure." And she was like, "I got to tell you up front, I'm a lesbian." I'm like, "Okay, well, you still want to do this coke?" You know what I mean? She said, "Sure." So we go over to my house, and she was like explaining how her and her partner did it, and they did it through a method called boofing. You older women might not know what boofing is, but you're about to find out. So boofing, if you don't know, is when you take a straw and you fill it up with a powdered substance of a drug, and you blow it into the person you're hanging out with's anus. Sort of like the Native Americans with blow darts. You're just... So I boof her, you know what I mean? Fucking boof daddy. I boofed the shit out of her. She's fucking jumping around. She's all acting all goofy. She's high as fuck. I want boof now. Boof me. I'm like, you gonna boof me? She's like, yeah, I'll boof you. So I'm like, wait a minute. She's gonna be shooting drugs directly into my asshole. Let me get a shot real quick. So I run in the shower and I take a shower. Even though she's a lesbian, you never know. So I take a shower and I'm like, dude, I'm shaving everything from the waist down. Be bald as a baby, and I'm all coked up, so I got this baby dick. But my ass is all nice and smooth. Yeah, you know that's right. So I put baby oil on my ass to try to entice her, to maybe this will go further than boofing, you know? But I put way too much baby oil on my ass. So I like go in and she was like, what are you doing, dude? I'm like, you like what you see, girl? I'm like, hit me with that best shot, you know? You can't use a regular straw. You need like them straws you get out of them big lemonades that are like hard, because a regular straw, your orifice will crush it and you won't be able to get the drugs through. You know, you look like you were interested in this. No, him. Yeah. Fuck it, boof him, he'll boof you, I don't care. Once I'm done, do whatever you want. You can come down here and boof for everybody. I don't give a shit. So I'm down on all fours like I'm in a 3-point stance playing football like this. And I got my game face on. Good, babe, boof me. I put so much baby oil on my ass that she couldn't boost me. And she was trying to blow, but she looked like a red tomato pincushion in her face. And she looked like she was ready to pass out. She like, so finally I had to dry off, get some of the baby oil out of my asshole, and she was able to boof me. It was a pretty fun time, you know what I mean? We high-five afterwards, and I'm like all naked with my baby dick, and she was like, all right, dude, I think I'm gonna get out of here, you know what I mean? It's cool though, we're still friends on Facebook, you know? I don't know how many lesbians get married and have 2 kids, fucking liar. I supplied the drugs, she could at least gave me an old-fashioned, you know what I mean? That would have made for a better story. What happened? I got boofed and the chick gave me a hand job. I thought she was a lesbian. No, she lied about the whole fucking thing. She just didn't want to have sex with me because I was a creep. And I was only 5'5". I told her I was 5'8". Me and my girlfriend, we do like 3 basic things as a sober couple. She's like not in recovery, but she kind of like is a big support. And it's like we go to Costco, watch Netflix, and occasionally we have sex. You know what I mean? I'm batting 2 for 3. I'm really good at 2 of them. The other one's up for question. But we were watching this show on Netflix. I'm sure a lot of you guys have seen it, the Motley Crue movie, The Dirt. Probably one of the best fucking movies about a band ever. And we're sitting there, we're watching it, and like the whole movie, it's like Tommy Lee, like they're like doing all these drugs and they're banging all these chicks and they're making all this money. And it's just like, wow, that's fucking awesome. And my girlfriend was like, I don't want to watch these kind of movies with you. And I'm like, why? These are cool. And she was like, it's going to bring back memories of when you were getting high. Addie, I hate to break your heart, honey. But if it was like this when I was getting high, you better fucking believe I'd still be getting high. Tommy Lee's banging Pamela Anderson. I'm fucking some fat girl in a tracksuit. You know what I mean? We didn't have like a parallel life. They're playing at sold out stadiums. I'm nodding off on the bus on the way to the methadone clinic. Then my girlfriend started questioning me, like, what's rehab like? I'm like, you meet a lot of characters in rehab. If anyone in here, some of the people in here have been in rehab, I'm not going to point them out. Some of them look like they should probably get there soon. You could use a nice 28-day vacation, don't say any name. But I was in rehab, and like I had this interesting roommate, and we called him Pootie Twang. You know? Yeah, you're looking at me like, why would you call him Pootie? I'm going to explain it. So this is the educational part. You guys are nurses, so there was a nurse at the rehab. She walked by. Anything looked good at that point. She had functioning legs and 10 fingers. We were like, damn, that chick is hot. Did you see that nurse? He was like, I don't like that shit. We're like, why not? He was like, she got on too much cologne. You gotta leave it alone. He's like, I like a little pootie with some twang to it. So I'm like, Pootie Twang. I named him that right. I'm like, so you're into girls with smelly vaginas. You know what I mean? Okay, whatever floats your boat. So Pootie Twang's my roommate. He's teaching me all kind of cool tricks, like how to make dice out of cheese cubes, and how to make a deck of cards out of cereal boxes and stuff. Very key stuff Pootie Twang was teaching me. But like they had this like lottery system where they would call your room and you would get to go to an outside meeting. And that was a big deal because you got to leave premises. Well, sure enough, they called room 113. That was me and Pootie Twang. So we were like, yes, we're getting out of here for a night. So Pootie Twang throws on his best duds and everything. And he's like, I'm going to find me something at this meeting. I'm going to find me something. And he sure did. So, we go into this meeting, and it was like the biggest group of mutants I've ever seen in my life. And there's this chick there that had like 3 or 4 hairs. Or like, you know, her hair, she was like holding on tight to those 3 hairs. Like an old lady moo-moo dress, and she's on a rascal. You know what I mean? So she's cruising by me and Pootie Twang on a rascal. Pootie Twang yells out, Cheryl! She turns around like the crypt keeper. Yeah. He said, girl, you looked good since you stopped with the drinking. Bang, bang! I'm like laughing. I'm like, what the fuck was bang bang? You know what I mean? You're just firing air dick missiles at everyone. Funny story is, 3 days later, Pootie Twang was homeless. Not for long. Cheryl let him move into the senior high-rise, and Pootie Twang got out of there. And I started thinking of Pootie Twang's method. I'm like, dude, if you could just start firing air dick missiles at people and get whatever you want out of them, I'm doing it all day, you know what I mean? I'm coming up here, this guy, bye-bye! 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 I actually rubbed my dick off your knee. I'm sorry, but I didn't want to do it to any women, and that's why. I actually know him. He's a fucking maniac. So. But yeah, old Pootie Twang. He was a good guy. You guys remember? Some of you might remember. I tell this joke all the time, but you guys might remember when this happened. Remember when our weatherman got busted for DUI and possession of cocaine? Old Kevin Benson. Yeah, I love Kevin Benson. Dude, no one took that news harder than my Uncle Jim. My Uncle Jim's a weird-ass dude to begin with. But my Uncle Jim called me, and I'm driving. He goes, dude, what's up with your boy Kevin Benson? I'm like, dude, I don't know. I'm driving home from work. He's like, well, turn on the news. Turns out he's a crackhead just like you. So I'm like, what happened? Yeah, my Uncle Jimmy's fucking nuts. He goes, I'm going to tell you something else. You find out the weatherman's a crackhead. No wonder why the weather in Pittsburgh's been so fucked up these past 15 years. You can't trust him. You just can't trust him. I said, Uncle Jim, I'm going to let you know a little secret. I said, I'm not a smart man. Didn't graduate high school. Don't have any student loans. I said, but I do know one thing. Drug use does not affect the weather one bit. Because if it did, the neighborhood I grew up in, Greenfield, would have been destroyed by meteorites the fucking day Oxycontins came out. One thing about being in recovery is you'll find people who don't have drug problems but want to compare their problems to your problems. My girlfriend's mother is the queen of that. And I remember when I first met my girlfriend was like out front smoking a cigarette, and me and her mom were there, and it was just the two of us. And her mom was like, so how long have you been clean? I'm like, at the time it was like a year and a half. I'm like, about a year and a half. She's like, good for you. She's like, I had struggles too. I'm like, did you? I'm like, fuck, she's gonna bust out some juicy shit. Maybe she was like banging other dudes, you know what I mean? Hitting up glory holes or something, fucking mainline amphetamine, something good. Let me hear the juice of the family. I want to hear the bad shit so I don't feel so bad about myself. And she was like, there was like a 3-year period where I couldn't go a day without eating a Reese cup. I'm like, is Reese cup code word for crack? Like, what the fuck are you talking about? She said, I used to hide them all over the house, the little miniatures. She was like, and I just couldn't stop. I'm like, Betty, what happened when you ran out of Reese cups? Just asking. She was like, well, sometimes I'd have to wait till the next day till the store opened up and I'd have to get another package. I said, this might surprise you, but when you run out of crack, it's a little bit different. I couldn't wait for the store to open up at 9 in the morning the next day because there is no crack store. What I would do was I would walk to the projects and sell whatever I had at my house just to get more crack. That's a true story. I remember selling shit that they didn't even want. Like I'd take down old clothes and shit. Like I had like a pair of like Wranglers. I'm like, cuz there was fucking probably piss stains on them and they were all torn up. I'm like, cuz what can I get for these? The dude would always be like, he would show me mercy and like give me $10 worth of crack just to get me the fuck out of there. I remember that. So it worked. So like after like a 6-month run, I didn't have any pants left. I was walking around in my underwear, and I'm like, this is really going to be embarrassing walking to the projects. Oh, man. That's like a big misconception, I think, that people, when they're talking about people on drugs, they assume that you have like this great life and you're banging all these chicks and stuff like that. I'll be completely honest, I got no pussy at all when I was getting high. I got boofed by that lesbian. I had someone suck my little white dick, which scarred me for life. I said, this is the last time I'll ever come to the Hill District and get a prostitute. Just, wait till you see what I put on your Yelp review. You're not going to like it. buddy of mine, like I'd gotten out of I'd been to rehab 13 times, but like the 13th time's a charm, I guess. But he was like, he wanted me to stay clean. He said, dude, if you go to rehab, I'm going to take you to this strip club and the girls are prostitutes. So I'm like, this sounds like a fucking great idea. So I stayed in rehab. I was like, should I leave? Should I stay? Well, I'm going to get a prostitute after, so I think I'll stay. So I'm literally riding home from rehab. I'm like, I'm out. He was like, all right, I'll come up here tomorrow, and I'm going to take you to this place in Weirton, West Virginia. It's called the Hurricane Club. If you fucking heard of it, guys, don't raise your hand. Please don't. I just looked over and see the guy with his wife. Don't fucking say shit, because this story's about to go south. Your wife's going to be like, how the fuck did you know what the Hurricane Club was? Peter, where were you last weekend? I told Johnny I like to go to the casino. I don't know how I got these monkey pox. So he drives me down there, and I'm super excited because I'm like thinking in my head it's going to be like a Las Vegas brothel, like the Bunny Ranch or something. And I'm like, I'm not thinking it's in Weirton, West Virginia. So we go down there, and it looks like an old abandoned haunted house. And it's like there's like Wild Wild West doors, and there's like lights flickering. And when you walk into this establishment, there's no floor. It's just dirt. Yeah, like, I mean, I'm being serious. It's just a dirt floor like you're in the Wild Wild West. But there's no girls dancing, which was fucking weird. I'm like, dude, where's the strippers at? And the bartender's like, you gotta fire some money in that jukebox. He's like, only song working right now is Pour Some Sugar on Me. Throw like $3 in. You'll get like 15 or 16 plays. They'll show you some tits. You know what I mean? So I was like, all right, barkeep. Give me $3 in quarters. So I go over to the jukebox, I'm feeding it, and Pour Some Sugar comes on, and I'm like, all right, let's see it. But I'm like, where's the strippers at? Are they gonna come out of the back? It was like chicks wearing tracksuits that were sitting at the bar smoking cigarettes. Like, fuck, I guess I'm up. Yeah. You want me to dance? Fuck it, someone, please, for the love of God. I just spent $3 on some old Def Leppard. Do something. She's like, I guess I'm up. So she undresses, and I'm like, oh my God. As soon as she undressed, I realized it must have been like bring your kid to work day. Because she had like she was like in the second trimester, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not making this up. This chick was super fucking pregnant. Like, not a little bit, like a lot of bit. She was twerking. I think I seen a little feller's foot coming out, you know. So this fucking old guy comes over, and he's on one of those motorized scooters, those rascals. Another time a rascal pops up. But he's on a rascal, and he cruises over real nonchalantly, literally cuts right in front of me, and sits in front of this girl, and she's like dancing. I don't know what she's doing, like some kind of weird fucked up West Virginia twerking or something like that. I don't know what they call it, the hillbilly shuffle. But I'm thinking this dude's gonna start throwing money at her. This motherfucker pulls out a pack of Newports and starts flicking cigarettes at her. And every time he flicks a cigarette at her, he says, let me see your asshole. Let me see your asshole. Let me see your asshole. Finally, I'm like, dude, this dude gave you like 7 cigarettes. Who threw him? You? I love Sam here. Sam's gonna be like, I want that motherfucking cigarettes back. I was like wondering, like, I didn't think it was that funny, and then Sam threw his. But the same shit that Sam did to me, that's what happened to this chick. And finally, she turns around and she shows her asshole, and I'm like, ugh. Like, just as an advisor on your finances, I think you overpaid big time to see that asshole, brother. I'm doing the math, 7 cigarettes, it was like $8 a pack. You spent $4 to see that asshole. Like, I think you could have got away with giving her like a half of a soaking wet Virginia Slim or something like that. So anyway, she's happy. She made her cigarette. She picks him up, gets off the stage. So I'm like, dude, where's the prostitutes at? Like, I've seen enough hairy, pregnant girl asshole for my life. I want to... So my buddy's like, dude, I already paid this chick. She's coming over. She's kind of hot. Her name's Stacy, but she got like a little stab wound right here. You'll know who she is. We call her Stab Wound Stacy. And I'm like, fucking nothing but the best for me. I'm like, sweet. In Stacy's defense, she was like one of the hottest chicks from West Virginia to have a stab wound. Like, she was a hot... I don't know if she cut it out and sold a kidney, but she still wasn't bad looking. She comes over to me and like grabs me by the hand. She was like, come on, your buddy took care of you. I'm going to take you over to the VIP room. I'm like, all right, sweet. Like, let's get out of this mess. So we go to the VIP room and I'm walking over. The VIP room was the fucking janitor's closet. Now, there's a lot of parts come into play in this story. This was right after, I went to rehab right after I got boofed. So remember that. I had that bald ass. In this room, hanging up, there was a bunch of guys' Carhartts. I guess they were fucking coal miners. So we're in this coat room with a mop bucket and a broom and everything like that. And we start getting weird, you know, it starts getting weird. He took care of it. But I'm like this, and she's like this, but these guys start reaching in to grab their coats. Now my fucking bald, shaved, beautiful ass is right there, and I'm getting sexually assaulted by every fucking coal miner in town. Finally, I'm like, dude, cuz, knock it off. He's like, what's the problem? I'm like, I'm a fucking dude. He's like, what kind of man shaves his ass? I said, I got boofed 3 weeks ago by a lesbian. It's a long fucking story, dude. I don't feel like getting into it, but fucking beat it. I'm trying to get weird right now and enjoy myself. I can't because your finger's halfway up my ass. So we end up getting completely weird. We got, it was 100%, it was great. Everything's good. I walk out, I feel like a new man. I'm like, man, it's been so long since I got laid. I was like, this is freaking awesome. So I go out, my buddy's like, how was it? I'm like, dude, it was fucking sweet. Thank you, bro. I needed that. So we get into the car, and he was like, yeah. He's like, dude, them chicks, he's like, they'll blow you and shit, they're cool. I'm like, blow me. She let me hit it. But dude, and she didn't even make me wear a condom. In my head, I thought she liked me because you have to remember, I had been getting no attention from females at all. So I thought by the prostitute not making me wear a condom that we might have had some kind of a connection. It turns out it was just my dick was probably going to fall off. So my buddy was like, you didn't wear a condom. I'm like, no. And like, you know when a dog shits on the carpet and you're ready to smack the fuck out of it? That's like the face I made. Like, oh man, what are we going to do? He's like, we got to get you to the Mountaineer so you can wash your dick off. And I'm like, dude, I went from getting no pussy to being the guy whose dick's going to fall off. Like, fuck. I didn't even get to enjoy this shit. I fucked one girl and now my dick's going to fall off. So we're flying. We're going to the Mountaineer. Dude, my boy is flying. But, like, I'm holding my dick. I don't know any better. I just don't want it to fall off. I'm like, come on, buddy. We're almost there. We're almost there. Finally, we get to the Mountaineer. Who here's been to the fucking Mountaineer? Raise a hand. A couple people. No one. You have. All right. You never been in the men's room. Here's the problem. Here's the biggest effing problem with the men's room in the Mountaineer. It's not made for short guys. Especially short guys that need to wash their dick off. So I walk in there like a bat out of hell, and I unzip her, pull my pants down, and I'm butt naked, and I go up, and here the sink is all the way up here. The sink's all the way up here. It's like up to my tits. You know what I mean? So I'm like, fuck. So everything's automated too. Like you couldn't just turn the fucking water on. You had to do some fucked up weird dance to try to get foam, soap, and water at the same time. So my buddy Dino is like a bodybuilder dude, and he fucking sees me struggling severely with this. He was like, what are you doing, you fucking idiot? And he comes up behind me and picks me up like a 3-year-old trying to piss in the trough down at Heinz Field. Holds me up in there so I could wash my dick off. And I'm like, ooh. So I'm getting a good old dick wash, and he takes me over to the hand dryer. I dry my boys off. Mind you, my pants are still hanging down to my ankles. My buddies told me it's a real weird scene. Thank God no one's in there until now. The valet driver comes in because someone must have complained, like, I think these two dudes are fucking each other or something weird. I don't know what's going on. And the valet driver looks like Samuel L. Jackson, and he's mean as fuck. He was like, man, what the fuck's going on in here, Dan? And I'm sitting there with my nuts under the dryer like... And my buddy was like, dude, my boy just got out of rehab. He didn't get pussy in a while, so I took him to bang this hooker. He didn't wear a condom, so I'm just brought him here to wash his dick off. Perfectly normal explanation. So the dude comes up and starts walking closer. I'm like this, like flinching back like this, you know, still butt naked. And he was like, is that true? I'm like, yeah, it's true, cuz man, I'm in recovery too. That's good to hear, one day at a time. And Small's like, what the fuck? I'm like, cuz, this is the fucking weirdest AA meeting I've ever been to. Oh, man. Yeah. Oh, I need some water. I got a funny story about my mom being poor when we were younger. But she tried. This is like a mom trying, but just like it didn't work out. It's like, sometimes I tell this story, but I feel like it's like a good time to tell it. When I was 7 years old, I'm 41, so when I was a kid, all I wanted for Christmas was a what? A Nintendo. Right? Am I lying about this? I mean, but be honest. Mom. Now ain't the time to lie. You're not on a jury. Believe me, guys. Swear. Anyone here knows my mom. It's a fucking true story. So I wanted a Nintendo for Christmas. So all I'm saying is Nintendo. So Christmas morning comes. I run downstairs. Can't wait to plug in my Nintendo because all my friends just got a Nintendo. Mind you, though, we're one of the poors. So what I get for Christmas, there's a fucking snow shovel with a bow on it. And I'm like, what the fuck is this? And my mom looked at me straight face like, I thought you said you wanted a shovel. I said, I'm fucking 8. We live in an apartment building. I can't even use the shovel. If I wanted to go outside and shovel something, there's not even shovel. We don't have no property. What, can I fucking practice shovel in the living room or something? Like, this is terrible. When I got older, I found out it was because my mom, at the time, she was a single mother, she could only get a credit card for Sears. That's the only person who would give her credit, and they were wrong for doing it because she didn't pay them back either. So fuck you, Sears. But to my mom's defense, I had 3 options. It was a pair of Lee dungarees, a flashlight, or a shovel. My mom went with shovel, so... She taught me good work ethic. But that's not even the funny part of the story. So my mom likes to have morning cocktails sometimes. She likes the morning drink. She's retired. She's allowed to. I'm a landscaper. And my mom's pretty shit-faced drunk at 11 in the morning. And she's driving down the street. And sure enough, I'm digging a hole when she happens to drive by, and my mom looks out the window and laughs. She's like, good thing I got you that shovel. But here's the weird thing I thought about that. I'm like, Mom, if you knew what you got me for Christmas when I was 8 was going to direct my career in life, maybe you would have got me like a fucking calculator or a computer, or you'd have made sure I finished grade school, you know what I mean? And I knew how to read, you know what I mean? But at least you got me that shovel. One of my favorite sayings about my mom that she would use is, I could never have a kid now. Fuck that. They got all that shit where you can't smoke, you can't drink, you can't take pills or nothing. Fuck that. I'm like, Mom, you couldn't do that 41 years ago either. Like, what are you talking about? She was like, the doctor said you could take speed and drink and stuff. It was fine. I was like, who was your OBGYN? Fucking Dr. Kevorkian? Like, what the fuck? I turned out all right, Mom? After 13 trips to rehab, I'm perfectly normal. Oh, man. I think I'm going to end on this, guys. I think you guys have been a great crowd. I really appreciate everyone being here tonight. It's meant a lot to me. It's kind of like a dream come true, having this filmed and everything. You guys have been fucking amazing. I mean, honestly, thank you so much. Give yourself a round of applause. This is probably one of my favorite stories to tell, because it's true. I'm sure everyone in here, guys, don't raise your hands like you did before. Billy, don't fucking... No one needs to know about this, but everyone's noticed that these massage parlors are popping up like fucking wildfire. You know what I mean? Where did they come from? They're fucking everywhere. You know what I mean? What do they call it? Lovely Hands, Lucky Dragon... fucking, you know what I mean, finger in ass. Like, they're just a fucking, there's got to be a million of them, and it's got to be the biggest expanding business in the United States of America right now, because there's multiple massage parlors in every neighborhood, and there wasn't like that like 5 or 6 years ago. Luckily, I got in at the beginning. So, I was working for a guy, real good dude, and same position. I was sober at the time, but I wasn't having too much luck with the ladies. And he was like, you know what? He was like, dude, I'm going to take you to a rub and tug. And I'm like, what's this? And like, I'm a poor, you know what I mean? So poors aren't, we don't get massages and pedicures and all this shit. He was like, dude, you get a massage and then they like roll you over and they give you an old fashioned hand job. Like, oh man, where are these places? I find out now they're everywhere. You know what I mean? They're just like, they just don't say it on there. You just got to go in and give them extra money. But yeah, you get a hand job. So it was my first time in there, and I was a rookie. And if you're a rookie, you got to go with a crafty veteran. Like, don't ever walk into a massage parlor not knowing what you're doing. They'll take all your fucking money, and you won't end up with a hand job. You'll leave there with blue balls. You have to go out in the parking lot and jerk yourself off. So I asked the dude, I'm like, dude, what do I have to do? He said, nothing. He said, go in there, literally. He's like, here's the money. Give them this as a tip. I'll pay for the massage. Take off all your clothes. They give you a massage. It's awesome. They'll roll you over, jerk you off. That's it. I'm like, 3 simple steps. I can follow all of them. I go into the room and I lay down and I get butt naked. You know what I mean? Remember, I got that juicy bald turd cutter. So, you know, looks like a little butterball turkey. So I get up on that table. I'm laying out, and you know, they rub you down, but the fucked up thing is they call every guy Superman. You know, I don't know. Oh, you Superman. And I'm like, oh, yeah, that's right, baby, you know. That chick I sent that dick pic to, I wish she could see me now. I'm fucking Superman, bitch. So she's like rubbing my back. And like I said, I never had anything like this. And this feels amazing. And like she's getting around like my legs and then like my calves. And then she gets in like that part in between the man's, I guess you'll call it the butthole and the testicles. We like to call it the gooch. You know, so she starts giving me a good old-fashioned gooch massage. And I'm like, man, I never had my gooch massage. I start kicking my ass up in the air like I'm Nicki Minaj. You know what I mean? I'm like, that's right, girl. Fuck that gooch up. You know what I mean? And she's getting that gooch like it's nobody's business. Next thing I know, though, she didn't prepare me for this. She just jammed a finger right in my ass. Besides the boofing time, this was the second time I had something go in my ass, you know? So it hurt, you know what I mean? I don't have a trained asshole. It's a little tiny asshole, so that fucking finger hurt. It was rigid and she had nails. It was fucking mean. So I fucking clench my ass cheeks up and I jump off the fucking table. The problem is I like clenched my ass so tight that I was like, her finger was trapped in my asshole like a Chinese finger trap. So she's playing tug of war with my butthole. And while she's doing it, she's like, you know like? I'm like, fuck no. But then every man has that moment in his life when he got to get honest. He got to get honest with himself real quick. Because I kept saying, I don't like. The truth is, I do like. And I start thinking, man, I guess I'm fucking gay. It makes sense. Like, you know what I mean? I liked it when that chick boofed me that time. And I was like, it's kind of cool getting stuff in my ass. You know what I mean? It doesn't make you gay. It just makes you, getting fingered in your ass is cool. Because I'll tell you one thing. If getting your asshole finger makes you gay, I'm the gayest fucking dude ever. Folks, my name's Mike Zydel. You guys have been awesome. Thank you so much for coming out tonight. Love you guys.